Welcome to Sugar Daddy's podcast, where we get real about love, money, and everything in between. I'm your host, Namon Jones, here with my co-host, Diopla Sample. What's up, D?
What's going on, Namon?
Man, they say love don't cost a thing, but what about companionship?
Hey, man, we just two grown-ass men having real talk, making real connections.
Welcome back to the Sugar Daddy's podcast, where the money is real, the talk is raw, and the vibes are unfiltered. I'm Big Daddy.
And I'm Magnificent, your favorite high-value man in hot demand.
Well, we brought in a real one, y'all, a real licensed therapist to help us decode what's going on in this Sugar Daddy lifestyle.
Yeah, my friend, my sister, the future Dr. Sharron Cross.
What's up, Dr. Come we call you Dr. Cross.
Oh, gosh. Not yet. Not
You
yet.
got to claim it. You got to claim
It's
it. What's
coming.
going on?
It's coming.
What's going on? I mean, what's
I
the
know
question?
that's right.
That's what I said. You, what's going on?
What's going on?
Hey, listen.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you from,
Yeah.
man.
I was born in Jacksonville, Florida,
Okay.
Okay.
raised in Anchorage, Alaska, and I lived there until 2011, and then I moved to Atlanta, Georgia until 21, and then I just relocated to North Carolina.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
I am a mental health therapist, and I have a private practice that I operate now solely telehealth.
So I applaud you, man. I told my son today, no, this is real. My son and I were having a conversation today, and one thing I told him, I said, if you need a dentist for your teeth, you need one. If you need, something going on with your heart, you go get a heart doctor. You know what I mean? I believe everybody need a therapist. So
do.
I'm grateful to have you here, for real.
Thank you.
because
Absolutely.
I'm
She
hoping to
deserve
learn
a
something
hand clap
myself
for that
today.
one.
So
That's
hey,
it.
you
That's
got to
it.
help us navigate this thing. So as always, the talk is raw, man, and I can't wait to get into it and learn some stuff today because we're going to get into the psychology behind the sugar daddy, sugar baby lifestyle. Shit, let me say
The
it again.
love, the lust, the
Luxury.
secrets.
Yeah, the love, the
luxury.
lust, the luxury. So let's get into it. I'm really excited to understand this psychology thing. So one of the things I want to know, and D and you and I be talking about this a lot of times, is the emotional needs of, the sugar baby, sugar lifestyle. You know what I mean? We talked earlier about, in previous episodes, the emotions behind things, right? Whether it's transactional, whether it's love, right? So I think, we kind of kick it off by, talk about, first of all, before we even dive into that, I'm sorry, I digress. Have you had any experience in this lifestyle at all?
No.
Have you had any experience counseling kind of the folks of this
Yes.
caliber? So that's what makes this amazing, right? Because we talked about unfiltered, right? So what I'm looking for, Dr. Cross, and I can speak for myself, D could talk to his thing, but I'm really the kind of wanting to get the unfiltered from you. It's unbiased because she's never been in this lifestyle.
Right.
So that's why I can't wait to dive
I've
into
never
this thing.
been so fortunate.
So let me then your professional opinion from a psychology perspective. What do you think the emotional needs are for a sugar daddy, sugar baby kind of relationship? What are the emotional needs on either side?
In my opinion, I would say a man could possibly, and I say possibly because it might not fit every man, but a man could possibly be looking for, let's just say, affection, companionship, but these things that if he makes them transactional, he's almost entitled to them. And so he's going to get them because he pays for them. So he doesn't have to worry about getting them because he's being, I would say, emotionally available or anything. It's like, well, you go to Walmart, you buy your stuff, and you get what
Right.
you pay for.
Right.
And so when a man is a sugar daddy, he gets what he pays for. And the sugar baby, she's looking to have certain needs met. And a lot of women, especially because sugar babies are usually younger women,
Right.
they usually need their bills paid. They need their basic needs met. And because us as human beings need basic needs met, we can't actually move up along that hierarchy of needs where we reach self-actualization until we have basic needs met. So we can either meet them ourselves, or if somebody's kind enough to help us meet them, then so be it. So then that's when it becomes a transactional agreement between two people where we're both getting our needs met. And so it's like a give and take.
Well, if it's about the needs being met, though, as I can call you, future Dr. Cross, then why do sugar babies not seek traditional relationships? Why then do they choose to go into these sugar daddy, sugar baby relationships as opposed to traditional relationships?
Because you don't get anything out of the traditional relationships.
You don't think you can get anything out of traditional relationships?
Well, you know what? Well, hang on. Let me say this, because I think it's more about instant gratification. I don't think it's just. See, the traditional relationship is delayed.
It could be instant gratification, but the thing is they want to get something out of the relationship because at that present time they have certain needs that need to be met, and it's up to them to decide what they want to sacrifice, or some women say settle for, or what are you willing to give.
So then it's a difference between short-term goals and long-term goals.
Yeah, but the traditional relationship takes time. Like, hold on. For me as a sugar daddy, I ain't got to go through all that. That's my point. Like, I don't have to go through the whole courting, dating scene to get somewhere if we're going to be intimate or whatever, okay? One thing I want to make sure of is that we establish sugar daddy versus traditional, because traditional, I got to court you, I got to date you, I got to take you out, I still have to do that as a sugar daddy, but the expectation is just different. It's instant. It's not where I got to wait. I'm impatient already, so good Lord help me work on my patience. But for me, I don't have to go through the steps.
And neither does she. The thing is because it's materialistic. She's looking for something material. So if I was to be a sugar baby, then that means that I know that I got to do whatever it is that you're expecting. But I'm going to get my money. I'm going to get my bills paid. My nails going to be done. My hair, whatever it is, whatever standard that woman has set or whatever agreement that they have. So she's not looking for emotional fulfillment at the time. She's looking for material. And so right then and there, it's materialistic with no strings attached.
Yeah.
So as long as it's material, all of it is instant gratification.
Right.
The stuff that's not instant is the emotional.
Yeah.
Okay, but then I would pose the question, then what's the difference between love and just general generosity, right? If I'm a giver by nature.
That's your love language,
yeah.
right?
So, but if I'm in a situation where I want to do that anyway, and, I love you versus I'm just a giver anyhow.
You can love somebody and be a giver, because I'm a lover of people, and that's fine. But being in love with somebody, you give it differently. It's given with a different intention. So the intention is different.
I like that.
So let me ask you this question. How does a sugar baby protect her mental health while playing the game?
I would say that a sugar baby protects her mental health by knowing what she's getting into and accepting it for what it is. A lot of times, and I will speak from a woman's perspective, a lot of times a woman will start something and say, oh, I know what it is. He say he don't want this, or he say he's only going to give me this. And then she thinks that she can get in and change it. And that's when her mental starts to be compromised, because she's crossing over from just a regular agreement to the emotional side of things. And so when that gets kind of mixed up, then things get convoluted, expectations change, and then...
So if I'm hearing you right, does she compartmentalize her thoughts in terms of... Okay.
You're supposed to compartmentalize, and then you're supposed to be accountable. For example, if a woman is with a man and she knows that he sees other people, she knew that when she very first started. Mm-hmm. So if you're okay with it when it first starts, you have to make sure that you're okay with it as it goes. And yes, if there's intimacy and things like that, her feelings are going to change, but she still needs to check herself and be like, until we sit and talk and change the rules to this game, the game is still going to get played like this, and I can't change it. So it comes with accountability.
Yeah,
so she has to be accountable for her own emotions. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. In previous episodes, though, we talked about rules and breaking the rules. And I think that's what Dr. Cross, you're talking about the rules.
Yeah.
Because once one of the rules are broken, it damages the entire foundation of the entire relationship.
When I talk to my clients about breaking rules, it's like breaking a rule is like having a sheet of paper. Have a sheet of paper right out the printer. Take it and ball it up.
Okay.
But then you want to figure with that person, you don't want to break the rule no more. The rule's forgiven, right? You take that piece of paper and you flatten it back out, right?
Okay.
Is the paper still crinkled? Okay. So it's going to still have that blemish regardless. So you have to decide, are you going to get over that blemish and deal with the paper crinkled up with all the little wrinkles in it, even though it's still flat, or are you going to get a new piece of paper?
That's
Great analogy.
Great analogy. And so, in your professional opinion, do you see most just get another one? They get a new piece of paper?
I see them get another piece of paper and ball that one up, and they got a few balled up pieces of paper. And they got a whole trash bag full of paper.
Balled up papers.
Right. Balled up piece of paper, and they take them out and they flatten them out as they see fit. And if that woman wants to be flattened out, then so be it.
How do we empty the trash can on that though? Because that's one of the things. Like I struggle. We always talked about our stories, and others that have heard some of our podcasts earlier. We talk about our own stories and how we've grown and how we've even learned from our own lessons, right? So the question I want to know, because I know I got a whole bunch of fucking balled up pieces of paper in the trash can, right? In my mental trash can. How do we do the permanent delete of the balled up pieces of paper?
You'll see what I do.
Because
so I don't go back in that trash can.
Okay.
I take my shit to the shredder. And I shred it, because then when you shred it, can't nobody go in that trash and put it back the way that it was before. It's never going to be the same. So you shred it, and you have to set boundaries so you don't cross that bridge again, because making those same mistakes over and over again, I have been there and done that.
Yeah.
And so one day I just decided, if I want something different, I have to do something different with my trash.
Yeah.
So are you going to put it in the recycle bin, or are you going to put it in the bin that goes to the dump? What you going to do with it?
Okay, I hear that. So then explain the process, though, for real on, because, okay, my personal experience. I can get rid of some trash or what I consider not good for me.
Right.
But then I find myself entering similar situations. It's almost like it's my own personal pattern. They're similar.
And that's where personal accountability comes in. And that's where I say, even myself, it's like, well, I might be lonely, or I might need a partner, or I might long for certain things, but the method that I've been doing has not been getting me what I want.
Right.
So I have to make a conscious decision. The moment that a man does this is my new rule. I have to make rules within myself and change my standards. It has nothing to do with anybody else.
Right.
And if people don't like it, that's fine. But whatever it was that I was doing is not working. So now it's like, even now, the age that I am, if I meet somebody, if I see something, it's not going to necessarily, this is a red flag, because flags are different. But the fact is if you do something that's against the agreement that I made with myself, now that I love myself, because before I might not have.
Right.
That's the thing. So now that I love myself, I have to be committed to myself if I expect somebody else to be committed to whatever rules that I have.
Right.
So you keep that rule with yourself.
Right. That's a good point. So do sugar daddies use money to avoid emotional vulnerability?
I wouldn't say that they always do. Sometimes they use money because that's their easy way in, because they are vulnerable, but that's an easy way for people to not necessarily, it's like a diversion tactic, to where I might be emotional, but hey, if I throw you a couple dollars, you're not going to see how sensitive I am, and you're going to pay attention to the money, and we'll get to the sensitive part later. You can kind of sneak it in. It's like an emotional gaslighting, but it's like a protective shield that you have, because you have an asset that you can offer somebody as a distraction.
Do we think it's vulnerability, though, or do we think it's more ego?
It's probably both. All of us have ego. It's human nature. If you have something that you can one-up somebody, if I had some money, bet your ass I'm going to use it. But see, the thing is it's also an image, because when I meet men, they think I got money, so they don't want to give me none. So, but I'm not going to go over and pretend like I don't got nothing just so I can need a man. It's just like, well, if you can't do for me what I can do for myself, then deuces.
Right.
So it depends on what a woman expects of herself and what she thinks of herself. And then whatever that is, that's going to be a reflection of the man she chooses. Because a man's going to respect you as much as you require him to. He's only going to respect you as much as you respect yourself. And if he chooses not to respect you as much as you ask him or require him to, then there's going to be a disconnect, and you're either going to go your separate way, or she's going to go her separate way, or like you guys were talking in previous episodes, it's going to be toxic.
How can a sugar baby set boundaries without losing the bag?
Oh, from in the beginning, telling the truth, first of all. She can be upfront. She can be assertive. The thing is, sugar baby, sugar daddy, it doesn't matter how much money he's throwing, how controlling he wants to be. At the end of the day, a man does not want a weak woman. He does not want a yes woman 100% of the time. So she just needs to know when to say yes. She needs to be able to read the room and read her man, whether he's a temporary man, a sugar daddy man, whatever. She needs to know how to get what she wants.
Yeah, I said that earlier. Like, every woman needs to know what type of man she has.
Yeah, you got to know your guy.
And not the type of man you're trying to make him to be.
Right.
Not that people can't change. Because I believe that for the right one, a man can make the changes.
But I believe, though, for real, it only works when everybody is fucking truthful. Like, that sound good.
Well, no, you're right. It
but-
only works when two people
Man,
come together, be honest
I don't
with
care
each other.
if it's a
and
sugar
say,
baby,
"We
sugar
gon-
daddy situation, a traditional situation, side chick, break, whatever whatever it is, right? I believe that as long as both parties are 100% truthful, you can get an honest outcome. It ain't toxic and bullshit until somebody lying.
Or want to keep secrets.
Or want to keep secrets. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
yeah.
lie.
See,
Secrets
That's
are
still a
lies.
lie. That's why. That's what we talked about
See-
earlier about the sugar daddy lifestyle. It's not a secret. You know what I mean? You gotta. We talk
Well-
about the qualifications. It ain't a secret. You gotta just.
So let me ask you this question, Dr. Cross. There's some men my age. When I was telling these men about the podcast, they, I ain't no sugar daddy, I ain't no. And I started laughing. Because I know them personally. And I know what they do for women, right? So if you taking care of your woman, you making sure you done bought her a truck, cars, you pay rent, mortgage, lights, gas. You do all this, but you don't want to associate yourself with being a sugar daddy. What do you think that is? What as far as
Denial.
okay?
It ain't no different than a man saying, I want you to be with me exclusively and I want to be with you exclusively, but we ain't in a relationship. So what is it?
But you think it's denial or it's embarrassment?
It's denial.
Or not even embarrassment. It's.
It's denial.
I think denial is one, but I also think it's
It's denial because they either don't feel like they deserve it or they can't come to terms with the truth about it. It's the way it's denial.
But I think the term has a negative connotation.
Because
sugar daddy.
Yeah, sugar daddy has a negative. So
daddy.
it's not. I don't know if it's denial. I think it's more of. I don't know if I want to be associated with a negative connotation, because what I've seen for real is that when the card is pulled and a man really know his sugar daddy and you really pull the card, he'll tell you the fucking truth. A real one would.
Yeah, but some women are afraid to ask.
True, that's true. But I'm just talking about on the surface of it. If you really, I think that most of them would tell the truth. So I think it comes with the negative connotation of what sugar daddy is kind of known for, versus understanding the psychology behind exactly everything we're discussing. Because I still battle to this day, Doc, for real. I battle with how is it that single people who have jump off, side child, all of them, they can have healthy relationships, sexually relationships, taking care, whatever the case may be, but people that get married can't. It still baffles me.
Because it's a stereotype and there's an expectation that comes with marriage. It's just like how some men will say, the moment that I lock it down, she gonna change.
Yeah.
And then she changes, or it's like the moment that he commits to me, now I gotta act a fool. And it's like you really don't, because what attracted him to you and what caused him to get down on that one knee and ask you to marry him is
That's
who
what's
you
going
are
to-
right now, not who you finna change to be, because he might not like who that is. So if you show him who you are in the beginning and not who the representative is, then he's going to be getting acquainted and you guys are going to grow together. But if not, you're starting out with a lie. So a lie is a lie is a lie.
But let me say this. I don't care how truthful you can be in the very beginning. I still don't know you. Yeah, I still don't know you. I don't know your ass till we get about 18 months, 24 months into this.
Well, then they can lie to you
That you
then.
left your funky ass underwear on the floor and you left your bra hanging over this. Or I left mine. Let's say I left mine on the floor. And there's we can be honest up front, but I don't know you.
But the thing
I
is,
don't
do
know
those
you.
things really matter? The thing is, if this is a sugar mama, to me, if this is sugar mama, sugar daddy, there's just some things you're not going to see. There's going to some things that I'm not going to do. Now, if we're in a relationship, there's things that I expect to see, that I expect you to do because you have changed the way that the relationship goes. So if we're just, if you're my sugar daddy, guess what? Whenever you come over, I'm going to know you coming, and I'm going to make sure I smell good.
That's
if
just
you're
it.
hungry, I'm going to make sure this is right. But at the same time, when we get into a relationship, you need to know, shoot, when my husband comes home, if I'm home first, what I'm going to do? I'm going to smell good. I'm going to cook. A lot of women lose that. It's like, oh, he coming home. That nigga coming home. Here he come. So,
We talked in an earlier episode. I don't know if you remember about. Well, I'm sure you do, but about what do you value more, trust or love? I mean, I'm sorry, love or loyalty. Remember we talked about that, love or loyalty, right? And I think we established that in a committed marital type of relationship, it was love. That was kind of the consensus, right? But the loyalty aspect when it came to the sugar daddy, sugar baby situation, right? So what am I saying? From a loyalty perspective, I need to make sure that truth is always there, because to what you were just saying earlier, you don't know somebody. Well, you don't, but you can't start off on a lie, because that's part of getting to know you. If you start off with a lie, well, shit, what we starting at? I still don't fucking know you. You're not giving me an opportunity to really know the authentic you when you don't come to the table with your straight up truth. The rest of the shit is me studying you.
but a lot of people are not willing to accept their truths because they're afraid of who they really are in the first place.
Ooh, yeah,
And
okay.
so it's like, I think about 4 or 5 years ago, my New Year's resolution was a lifetime resolution, and it's to thine own self be true. So and my thing is nothing's not going to come out of my mouth if it's not true. If I'm going to be with you, I'm going to have to tell you certain things about me if
You might not like.
that you might not like, but I'm going to go ahead and let you know, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to make the decision if I'm going to be with you or vice versa. But a lot of people have not reached that point in their life or their maturity yet, or their personal growth. They have to go through breaking down barriers of trauma. They have to go through their own insecurities. Then they have to go through loving themselves. And people like, I'm almost 50. I just learned to love myself 5 years ago. Before then,
That's real.
you could walk all over me. But it took experiences with people lying to my face, and me asking myself, like, how many times
Yeah.
am I going to accept this, or this does not feel good, so how do I change it to where I'm the one on the come up and not always the one on the bottom? So what do I need to do? If people don't ever ask themselves, what do I need to do to change this situation, they're going to always be in this toxic cycle of whateverness.
Right. I like that. To thine own self be true. I used to say it all the time.
That is my motto.
I think it's difficult though. It's so hard. It's easy to say, but how for real? How do you
Well,
do
wait
it?
a minute.
How do you do it?
Hold up. What's difficult is to have an impeccable word. That's difficult. We lie to ourselves.
To
every
thine
day.
own self be true.
I'm
Truth
gonna
is
get
life.
Up, I'm gonna get up. I've been saying I'm gonna get up and go to the gym. For the last month, I ain't got there yet. Now, at some point, I'm gonna get there.
Right. I
Okay.
get that. I get that. I guess
I've been saying that.
I guess my question to both of you, for real shit, is okay. Get that. Say the shit. Get all of that, right? We all been there. How you do it?
You just
How
do.
did you really
okay,
do it?
so
Like,
taking
for
from
real.
what you said, when I met you, I think I told you, I said, man, I've been saying this all this time. I said, I'm going to get back. I just got done getting myself together. I'm going to get into the gym. I need to lose this weight and do this, that, and the other. And I think when I got home, I've been working out ever since. And so it's
make a
just
decision.
because I woke
Yeah.
up and I said, how many Fridays are going to go by? And I'm like, damn, the week went by fast. And then I started telling myself, well, if the week went by that fast, how many times could I have been in the gym? Or if I really want that pizza, it's like, you know what? That pizza place ain't going nowhere. So I can lose 10 pounds. We eat and we don't exercise like the place is about to go out of business. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be here this Friday and next Friday.
But hold
You
on.
have to still, it's to thine own self be true.
Yeah.
And truth is life. And if
It
you want to
does.
live, you have to make that decision for yourself. And until you do, you're gonna die eventually. Your relationships are gonna die. You're gonna die. Everything that you put your hand on is not going to prosper. It might flourish for a moment, but it's going to die because you're not being truthful to yourself.
Here's the hard part. You heard us talk about one of my favorite songs by Kim, right? Love always wins, right? And so when I say help somebody for real, what happens when we know it's toxic? We know it's jacked up. We know we should be out of this situation, right? Whether it's sugar baby, sugar daddy, whatever it is, we know we like, man, it's so, but I'm in love with her, and where I start.
So
That's my point.
as
It's
a
like, how do I just make?
as a therapist, I would say, if you're in love with something or someone like that, what are you lacking that causes you to need that out of that person?
I think it's
Start out this episode. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean, but we start out the episode about the needs, right? Like, what's the need of the?
You find whatever you're lacking in the other person, and that's why you're never fulfilled because both of you guys are seeking what you're lacking instead of fulfilling that in yourself.
Talk about 80-20 all the time.
yeah, I think it's more than that. I think it's a chemical dependency.
Okay.
I think the
sometimes,
brain can be
the hypothalamus is activated when you're around certain people, and the prefrontal cortex and all of those things are
Yes.
activated, which is why if you were to meet somebody, why they say love is blind, or when you first meet somebody, it's blind because all of those chemicals and hormones that are going on in your body causes you to overlook all of the red flags that are right there.
So that's what I
And
mean about
so-
love is blind.
Yeah, so you have to, because all those hormones and stuff are going on in your body, and you have to fight against those and say, okay, I know what this is,
Right.
or I know what my body's doing right now, but what is this? Because in sugar daddy and sugar baby relationships, usually is you got this dude over here that's got some cash, and guess what? She got a badass body, she got pretty teeth, she got long hair, she got some pretty skin. Oh, and guess what? Her stomach is flat. So guess what? That bitch is dumb as rocks. So you're gonna get her. She can't hold a conversation. She can't stimulate you intellectually. She can't talk sexy to you over the phone because her vocabulary ain't that long. So now you giving this chick your money. She thinks she's getting it because she's cute, and she can't even intellectually stimulate you. Then what? Then you're ready to get rid of her. And so the woman that has a few flaws is the ones that get overlooked because we might not have the flat stomach or the long hair, or we might not be young, but guess what? I can talk to you over the phone and make your dick rise. I can have you looking forward to me when I get home. I can talk to you about all those things.
Time out.
So it's like, do you want the chick that's dumb as rocks, or do you want the woman that's smart, that can talk to you and that can stimulate you and can earn her money, and then to have you opening your wallet and never closing it?
Dr.
Do you
Cross.
want that?
Dr. Cross.
But everybody ain't grown like me.
Dr. Cross.
Yes.
Future Dr. Cross. Please, for the people, for the culture, lean into the microphone and tell me how you would talk to me over the phone to make my dick hard.
You
Go.
know what I do, Mommy? The first thing that I do is I send him a picture of me after I get out the shower.
Wait. Keep going.
And then I'll send him a picture of handcuffs and tell him that I want dick for lunch.
Y'all heard
And
that?
if he can get away, he can come get a quickie. You have to keep the excitement. But the thing is every woman is not a freak like that, because women are afraid to be a freak because they're afraid of what freak has a bad connotation, just like sugar daddy. But my thing is if you're my man or if you're my constant, what you trying to do?
Dr. Cross, my phone number is like 678. I need you. I need you to
It's
take
just
number
like
down.
what you, but that's all this whole the part of being honest with yourself, because all those thoughts that we have in here, my sisters and I were just talking the other day. When you're raised to judge yourself because other people are judging you, you're afraid to let all those stuff out.
Yeah.
Which is why my stuff used to come out. I write erotic poetry. I write nasty stuff.
Yeah.
And I used to send my ex-husband, I used to send it to him. He
For
couldn't
real?
wait to get out. Oh, yeah.
Exotic portrait.
I write nasty
You know
stuff
some of
all
it
the
by heart?
time. No, but I got it in my phone.
Where your phone at?
My phone is right there in my
What a
purse.
producer. I need to hear one of them nasty poems. I mean, this is Sugar Daddy Podcast. Shit. We talking about the psychology thing. I think it'll help me psychologically to understand and hear some
But you know
nasty
what?
poetry.
Well, that's it.
It's sensual poetry. Some of it's nasty, some of it's sensual. But the thing is I know that men are sexual beings, right?
Yeah.
And so if
The
I'm
stimulating
not
part of
that
it.
person that's stimulating your mind, then you're going to be watching porn,
Yeah.
or you're going to be trying to get somebody else to talk to you sexy, or you'll be flirting with whoever at work. So my thing is you can flirt with me on your break. I'm going to send you some stuff, and then you can see me when you get home. And then if you want to go do what you want to do, you want to be on the back porch tonight. You want to go. It's like you ask your man what he wants, and then you don't always ask him what he wants, but you tell him what you want. So my thing is I tell you what I want you to do.
So basically, we making love all day.
It's reciprocity. You can make love some time of the day, but you're gonna be fucking sometimes too.
Yeah,
because
but
you
that's
have
my
to do
point.
both, right?
Like
You can't just
we get up in the morning, we start, and this journey gonna lead to a fucking
right.
right. But along the way,
It's a mind game
I
because
don't even know if I can last.
It's just,
And I go a long time, but something like that.
well, see, the thing is it's a mental thing because you make love to somebody's mind and you don't always
Yeah,
have to
begin
touch
my
them.
body. Check
You
it
don't
out.
have to touch them because I've done this thing with a friend of mine and we were just friends, but we were both in the field, and I took this class and it was about stimulating and opening your erogenous zones without touching somebody. So basically, it was just like take your clothes off, lay down on the bed, close your eyes, and I'm going to hover over you. And I'm going to breathe on your erogenous zones, and I'm going to cause you to have an orgasm.
Oh my God.
I can do that. I can make you have an orgasm without touching you.
for real.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
So let me say this: if you did that, hold on.
I'm proposing. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying you can't.
You
I'm not
can.
saying you
The thing is,
I'm
is because
saying-
it requires, now mind you, it requires
My participation.
It requires
100%.
vulnerability. And so
Okay.
it requires vulnerability and a connection. And so what you said, trust. So it also requires trust.
okay.
So what I do is I do little things to see if he's going to let me trust you. Now, my first thing is can I tie you up? And then he'd be like, hell no, you can't tie me up. But I'm going to explain to you why I want to tie you up. I want to tie you up because sensory deprivation is one thing that's going to cause you to feel your orgasm 10 times better. So I'm going to need to blindfold you, and I'm going to need to bound your hands because when I start making you feel good, you cannot grab my ass. You cannot kiss me. You can't do anything. You're going to be forced to feel. So once you're forced to feel, then guess what? After a couple times of doing that, you're going to be okay with laying in the bed and doing just like this.
No, I don't want to do that.
And I get to have my
I'm
way.
okay with having an orgasm 5 times. It ain't got to be 10 times. Man. Fuck that. I want to
No,
feel, touch.
it's a deep. No, but you can feel it. But the thing is when you get to that core of your sexual, it's 10 times that. Then when you say uncontrollable orgasm,
Yeah.
you guys will be having them simultaneously. And a lot of people don't ever reach that because they are
guess I'm just
not
afraid of the
comfortable enough
unknown
with
or some
being
shit. I don't know.
that vulnerable.
I think I like being in control.
Hold up.
No, but see, when you release that control, that's control in itself.
That sounds good.
Is everybody in the studio?
Y'all
hearing
scared.
this?
This is awesome.
Y'all scared.
Shit.
Well,
scared.
No, I don't think it's about scared.
I will say this.
It's just unknown.
It's about being vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
when
yeah.
it comes
True.
about being vulnerable
True,
and
true.
you have to be transparent, those things are the things that you guys are asking about. Well, how come this relationship doesn't work? How come it doesn't last too long? How come she does this? And how come the sugar mom doesn't do that? Because somebody in that relationship is not willing to be vulnerable.
You were married before, right?
Yes,
Divorced.
absolutely.
You divorced twice.
Yes.
I'm divorced. Why? What we didn't figure out? Because I'm just saying, I hear that, and I wish some of this true application shit could have been true in the marriage. Maybe I wasn't myself. I don't know. I can't figure that out.
Mine was I just did it too young, and
Mine too, I
I
can relate to
learned
that.
my stuff as I went, and he was not comfortable with being vulnerable.
Okay.
And so when he was not comfortable being vulnerable, then he got to do what he wanted to me, but I couldn't
couldn't do what you
reciprocate
wanted.
anything. So then when I got divorced, I was kind of like stuck. Like I didn't know how to please a man. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if it made him
Not
feel
finna sit
good.
there
And
flinging
so
my
I had to
ass and
explore
all
that
that.
myself because he would stop. He was timing like, all right, come on up. If I wanted to, he could be sitting down. I'd be like, all right. And I come kneel between, and he'd be like, no, not right now. All right, go upstairs and put something on, and I come down. He'd be like, "What you got that on for?" So it's like when people do stuff like that, that's what messes up the trust. That's what balls up that piece of paper. So now I'm not finna put nothing sexy on because I don't know if this time is right. I'm not finna go down on you because last time you were like, "Nah." So now I'm trying to figure out why he don't want. What man turns that down? So I'm like, "Well, who you with? Who's doing this for you?" And so all these assumptions come, and then there's like somebody said in the previous about no communication. So then there's no communication. So then things become toxic
Progressive.
because you have your stuff
Yeah.
and things get worse and worse because that to thine own self be true does not exist.
You think it can be fixed? You think when situations like that happen,
Yeah. If you set your mind to say, I'm going to make this work, because guess what? If I can't make it work with you and I get with John over here, guess what? Me and John going to get to a point to where that honeymoon part is over and I'm going to have to make it work with him. So I'm going to figure out how to make it work with him or make it work with you. Either way, we're going to have to make it work with because
Still
people
gonna have
are
to face it.
You're
Yeah.
two different people, so you're gonna have to at some point, if this situation or relationship or arrangement becomes a relationship, you're gonna have to understand that there's gonna be differences, and there's gonna have to be compartmentalization, and there's gonna have to be compromise. Otherwise, it's not gonna work.
that's good, Doc. I think you done helped me.
Me too. I've learned a lot. Like,
You have to give yourself permission to feel.
Okay, so you know what? Let's do the sweet and sour, right? This for my son today, sweet and sour, right? And this is a educational moment for real, because I try to explain to my son about therapists, right? So I'm gonna let you explain it. Now we're gonna let you just end it. And you can rock with it. Is it sweet? You heard our segment, sweet or sour, right? So I gotta explain it again. Sweet, you rock with it. Sour, it's horrible. Is it sweet or is it sour for someone to have a therapist, and why?
Therapy is sweet because it's a form of self-care and self-love, first of all. But therapy is sweet, and I explain to my clients that therapy is something that everybody should have because therapy is like maintenance on your car. You get in your car every day, your car needs gas. Your car needs oil for it to work. You need spark plugs. You need to make sure that everything under that hood is healthy in order for that car to run the way it needs. Otherwise, it's going to break down on you. And our mental health is the same. So you don't always have to have a problem to see a therapist. A therapist, like I tell my clients, I like to hear about the good stuff. I like to hear testimonies. I like to hear, oh, today was a good day. I don't have nothing to talk about. Okay, so since today was a good day, what are we going to put in our toolbox so that when you have the bad day, we know what tool to go in there and get? So on the good days, we figure out the coping skills. So on the bad days, we don't have to figure them out because we can't figure out how to fix ourselves on the bad days. So therapy is sweet if you look at it the right way, because all you're doing is making sure that you have a full functioning machine so that you can run the right way, so that you can live long mentally and emotionally, so you can become that classic. Because if not, you're going to break down and you're going to have different parts from different people and different people plugging stuff into you, and you're going to be jacked up and you're going to be in the junkyard somewhere.
Wow.
That's why therapy is sweet.
It's sweet. Go get your tune up.
Dr. Future.
Dr. Cross. Dr. Cross. Dr. Cross, tell me where we can find you right now.
You can find me at creativeconnections.com or on Psychology Today, Sharron L. Cross.
Y'all heard her. It's important. And listen, when you find her, make sure you find us and click that subscribe button. We
That's
need
it.
you.
Down
subscribe. Just click it. Click it right now. Click subscribe. Check us out. Tell a friend and tell a friend. We appreciate you.
Like the page, follow the page.
Absolutely.
Share
I
with
am Sugar Daddies with a Z podcast. Sugar Daddies podcast. I'm your boy, Big Daddy.
And I'm magnificent.
Till next time.
Your favorite high value man and high demand.
Thank you,
Take
Dr.
care.
Cross.
You're welcome.
We
Anytime.
appreciate you.